Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Greg Murray, the product manager for TylerIce for the Wausau Company. So we've got the brains of the operation, which are in the cab, which we're going to show you in a little bit. But this is really the heart of the machine. All right, we have the electrical components here and all of the wiring that makes things happen. The fuse box, the different color-coded wires representing different aspects of the machine. And we also have the hydraulic center. There's several redundancies built into this machine to keep it operating in case one of them were to fail in the middle of a storm. So we can operate anything hydraulically that we need to spray, deploy the spray arms, stow the spray arms, just by opening these hydraulic valves. And they're all labeled individually so you know what's what. And you'll know what valve to open to make things work for you if it fails electrically somewhere else. So we're here today with Steve Chernesky from our Alamo Snow and Ice Group product management team, and we're giving him a little tour of our TylerIce units and what they're capable of. And Steve, you and I have talked about the heart of the unit. We've also referred to the brains and the nervous system of the unit. Well, this is the brain right here. This is the IQAN 4 interactive touchscreen that makes operating this unit so easy that anyone can do it with minimal training. I'm not very technologically proficient, and I was trained by the guys here in about half a day. And I was able to go out and tell other people how to use it. And that's really how simple it is. So we'll start with some of the great features that we've developed on this. And probably the number one feature that everybody really likes is the auto stow and auto deploy. And it's just one button. If I want to deploy, I would push this deploy button here, and it's going to ask me to confirm that I actually want it to deploy. And when I hit confirm, it's going to deploy the spray arms out to the full width that they're capable of and get them ready to go. And when they do deploy, it's going to ask you, are they fully deployed and where you want them? And you answer yes, and you're ready to go to spray when you want to start spraying. The other end of that spectrum, we have the auto stow, where we just hit the one button right there. It's going to ask us to confirm that we want to stow the spray arms. We hit confirm, and it's going to put them back into place hydraulically to where they go. If we happen to have had to lower the spray arms because of a strong crosswind, the IQAN 4 is going to raise them back up to the height that they should be in order to be able to stow in the cradle arms on the side of the truck. You don't have to do anything or worry about it. This little baby right here is going to do it all for you. Any questions, Steve?
No, it seems pretty simple.
It's, as I say, if I can figure it out, anybody can figure it out. Some of the other features are interactive, your spray amounts, how many gallons per 1,000 square feet you want to put down. And the preset amounts that we normally do, unless someone tells us differently, are half a gallon, 1 gallon, 1.5 gallons, or 2 gallons per 1,000 square feet. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. It will coat the entire runway from side to side for you. We also have a manual setting in case something fails in the automatic mode, and we can put it in manual mode, and we have a increase and decrease rate switch down here for that. So it gives us that flexibility in case something goes wrong in the IQAN. But generally, you're going to be about 1 gallon to half a gallon per 1,000 square feet in most areas where you do get any substantial snow and ice buildup. We also have a nozzle selector. Sorry about that. We have 3 different nozzles, as we talked about before. We have a streamer, we have a medium or a 35, and a high volume or a 60. And we can select which we want after we've gone out and set the nozzles on the spray arms to where we want them. We also have front flushers that we talked about and mid flushers that we talked about, and you can operate those by hitting that flusher button right there. And as you can see, these gray areas here are the 4 different flushers we have, and we can control them, the front 2 hydraulically by these buttons here, and we engage them, turn them on by pushing these buttons here for the front flushers and these two buttons here for the mid-mount flushers. Very simple, very easy to do. Another nice aspect that we have on this controller is it will give us the information if we have any issues. Sorry about that, went just a bit too far. It will show us where the issue was on the truck and what was happening, what was going wrong. So you have a really nice diagram picture of the truck here, a schematic, and it will show you if there's an issue with the spray arm, if there's an issue with the liquid pump, and anything else that could possibly be happening that is interfering with you spreading your de-icing compound.
Greg, one other thing that I noticed that is a pretty neat feature is that it has the digital tank level on both the flusher page and your spray nozzle page. So no matter what operation you're doing, you consistently have a real fast snapshot of how much liquid you still have in your tank.
Absolutely, Steve. And it's very accurate. It's an ultrasound sensor that sits at the top of the tank and emits sound waves, and it bounces off the material that's in there and lets you know how much is in there. We also have physical references on the side of the tank. We have a tube on the side with numbers on the side of the tank, sticky numbers that we put on, decals. And we also have engraved in the band the gallonage. So if those stickers happen to wear off or fall off, it's engraved on the side of the tank, so you'll have a reference point. It's very easy to find out how much you have. If by chance that sensor fails, all the driver's got to do is look in his side mirror and he can see that tube and see how much liquid's in the tank. So it will shut down automatically with 50 gallons left in the tank if the sensor's working. At 100 gallons, it will tell the operator that he's at 100 gallons, he needs to think about heading back and refilling.
And that's to protect the pump to make sure there's no cavitation.
That's to protect the pump, yes. 50 gallons, it will shut off. Because 50 gallons in a 4,000 gallon tank can slosh around in there and not be too available for the pump. Another nice feature that we have is the spray totals. We have storm and we have annual. We can reset the storm totals without any problem. There's a reset for the operator. It tells us how far we drove and how many gallons we put out. And another nice feature is a backup camera. It's an option on these units, but it's a very handy option. You can't see behind you because of the big tank, so it's nice to be able to see what's going on back there. We also have manual deploy and manual stow. If something were to happen to the auto stow and deploy of the spray arms, we can manually use these buttons down here to put them back into the cradles if we have to, or to put them out so that we can spray. As we've talked about a little bit, Steve, we have several redundancies on this truck. So if one thing fails, we're still able to operate it and get the job done to de-ice the runways. And one thing, if we get our speed signal off of the transmission. So that's what tells this IQAN 4 how fast this unit's moving, how much liquid it needs to pump to get the amounts that we want out there. So what we can do if we were to lose that transmission sensor, we can go into the menu and we go to adjust and we go to operator and we go to speed input. Right now it says it's getting the speed input from the transmission. So if we touch that, we can see we have other choices. We have GPS, we have simulated, and we have calibration. If we choose simulated, it's going to tell the computer that we're going a certain miles per hour when we're really not even moving sometimes, or we've lost our speed signal. If we wanted to diagnose an issue with the spray arms, we could put it in simulated speed and make the truck operate without having to move it. So the mechanic doesn't have to follow somebody driving it down the runway to see what's really going on. And you can set whatever miles per hour you want. Right now it comes up at 20 miles per hour. We could change it to 15, 10, 35, whatever we want. And as soon as we engage the spray function, it will start spraying whether we're moving or not. The computer thinks it's going to be moving 15 miles an hour. So that enables us to overcome a lost speed signal from the transmission and still be able to go out there and spread material.